Hello everyone, welcome back to Bricks, and today I have my 2018 TIE Fighter and my 2005 TIE Fighter, this being one of my favorite sets, and this already becoming one of my favorite sets. So today I'm going to be doing a full this is not a review of both of them. I'm only showing the fighters, not the minifigs. This is 2018, our most recent full-scale one. I believe that this is actually the same model as the very first one, just kind of repackaged, taking away the stand and the Stormtrooper and adding a light-up Darth Vader. Make sure you check out the reviews for both of them. They're both out. They're both awesome sets. I love them both. I love TIE Fighters in general, so make sure you go check both of them out. And yeah, so this is the very first this is the most recent purposely minifig scale TIE Fighter. That's just about the very first, as what they would call fully minifig scale back then. No, we have a recent one. I'm planning to get it, and once I get the newest one, I'm going to compare 3 TIE Fighters, which I don't think I've ever done something where I compared more than 2, so that's gonna be interesting. Make sure you end up leaving a like, and please subscribe. We're getting very close to 50 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the 40. So grateful. And yep, let's get on to the comparison. Alright, so to start off this comparison, this is something very different. I don't know if other people have done this, but I took the wings off, and we take a look at the wings in depth and then the canopies in depth, then bring them both together to look at them one more time. So a couple of things that I want to note of right off the bat. These center sections are actually pretty similar. The only true difference is this is a little bit elevated, and they just have different. That's a sticker, and that's a print, and they just have a bit different detailing, a little bit of grow. Besides that, they're kind of the same. And as you can just probably see, the size difference between these two is just insane. Yeah, like this one is so much bigger than this one, and this one really just just shows how far building techniques have gone in just standard Lego playsets. Because you can see this uses hinge pieces to give this a beautiful shape. That just uses standard just plates. This uses some jumpers to give it a very nice shape. This just uses light plates. On this, you have this really nice border that just makes the wing look so cool. This, you have 2 plates and some angled. I can appreciate the angled ones, but it just really just shows how far Lego has come here with these 2 designs. Now flipping them over, we can see a couple more differences. As you can see, this actually is a part of the canopy attached onto it, because this actually is attached with a Technic pin, and that is actually a part of a medieval, I think, what is that, a medieval castle piece that they use there, which gives it an interesting shape. Something also interesting, they both have like these lines, but this one is going that way, that one is going up, that one is going sideways. What is that, vertical and horizontal? Yeah, I believe so. I'm gonna probably got that wrong, and that's gonna look awful on me. But yeah, which is I wonder why. I wonder why they're different. Did Lego back then not have a proper reference image? Because, images weren't like floating around on as much as they are now. So they just kind of guessed and just went with it. So, went with that, and honestly, that makes more sense in a design ways than that. If I was just designing a TIE Fighter out of scratch and I ended up with this design, I totally would have gone for that. I don't know why I don't know, it's interesting. You can also see this just has so many more plates. It's just so thick. Like the wing itself, and like just, you can see like they even let some gaps, but I guess it gives it a nice shape too, and they use so many angled pieces. Truthfully, this is better, but this is just classic out of the both wings. Excuse me, that's kind of an interesting comparison there. Let's move on to the 2 canopies. Probably going to be the most interesting segment. Alright, so here are both of the canopies without its wing. You might notice something. This is much shorter than this one. That is purely because the rest of that cock is right there. That's the rest of it. Of course, we're going to be taking a look at everything, all of these with their wings, in a second here, so you'll be able to see truly what they look like, both of those. For now, let's take a look at the cockpit. Something interesting I'd like to say about this. This has Technic pins. So actually, technically, this is the real canopy size, which gives it an escape pod kind of look. So Yeah, because I cannot compare these to that. Honestly, I don't know if I would either way, but these just fit together nicely. That piece and those angled pieces fit together like a nice puzzle. If I can get that going. Sometimes technically it's gonna be a little weird, but there we go. Now there are a couple of differences you might see. Let's go over some of the similarities. But first thing you might be able to see, there's some pretty similar prints though. Now the coloring on these are very different. This just uses primarily light gray, dark gray, and red, and a little bit of black. This uses a bit of black, blue. You got light gray. You have dark gray from some angles. You have tan. This is you have a little bit more color. A lot of stuff is color swapped, especially those two and those two, which is also kind of interesting. Also, I don't know if that's my original review. You can't see it here, but especially if it's a lot of lighting, you can see that green in there, which is a tad bit of a shame. I never did actually go over that gap there. It doesn't bother me too much, but it can bother, especially I can get why it might bother a little bit of people. In terms of let's look at the cockpits, because this opens up like that, which gives you great access to the interior. This opens up kind of similar. Too many big words today, but they both give you very similar amount of access. This is slightly better, but I didn't even think of that. Of course, you gotta remember this was designed with both wings, so of course. But yeah, this is based, so they both give you extremely similar amount of access in terms of the interior. You have a console and a battle droid body used as a console. Really, the main difference between the two cockpits, of course not regarding color and such, is this just has some clips. So really, the cockpits are very similar, in terms of basic terms. Yeah, they actually both have grill pieces in the same place. Kind of interesting. Yeah, so of course their consoles are very different. The interior on here is just overall sleeker. That is some tan and stuff, which I don't always find it strange when Lego does that. Why do you do that? But just throughout, this just has some very incredible detailing on it. This has some. I'm being nice when I say decent, especially in today's standards. Especially when it looks better when the wings are on. But come on, there's just no difference. Actually, something interesting. In terms of, this pod part, let's say if these aren't attached, those aren't attached. Let's say I just took those off. Just looking at them visually are very similar size. Let's look at them on the back. Kind of a little bit of similar stuff. They actually use a little bit of, blue right there, and shouldn't they didn't there. The engines are, studs on the side. They're actually built in. And this has spring-loaded shooters, which of course adds to the play value. But that's just about it for the canopies. Now we're going to take a look at both of them with their wings and everything attached, which is going to be interesting. Alright, something I should have said here from the start. This is not a which is better video. This is how much have Lego evolved from here to here. I probably shouldn't have switched them. That would have made a bit more sense, but still. How much has Lego evolved? Now, looking at these two, honestly, quite a bit. This has a more blocky feel. If you just look, especially construction in the cockpit, this is a big, bulky piece that they used. This is just more hard and sharp corners. This is more slick. It's more smooth. A lot more pieces. There wasn't much greebling in these days, but here you can just see Lego really adapted to greebling much more. It just has such a more finer, better, more industrial look to it. You can all just looking at them kind of up this. Let me pick this up. The canopy sizes are very similar, but the wings are incredibly not similar. This has very small wings compared to its compared to its source. Also, interestingly, this one dances. This one doesn't too much. If I poke this, it doesn't. That dances a lot more, which makes me want to like this a lot more. I'm of course joking, but while it may seem very unstable, like compared to that, it's actually very sturdy. I'm surprised, considering that it just uses low friction Technic mechanisms. It's very, very sturdy, which I can appreciate, in the design work. But the design of this is just near perfection, whether it is how easily you can get in there, the detail that they put in, not only the detail all around it, like it's 360. This looks best from, like, I don't know about, the back of this is, yeah. Well, something interesting, sometimes the wings can get angled weirdly because of those Technic pins. You put it down wrong. This still looks good from the back. The wings are just, the wings show how much Lego has improved the most. Look at this, look at that. It just really shows, not only is it bigger, the techniques are just unbelievably different. This also has studs on the side construction. The only studs on the side construction this has is on the back, right there. And of course the wings, but it's just so simple. It's so complex. Like, studs on the side there you have some on the canopy here on the back. Lots of it on here, you even like have that, which I guess can kind of be considered that too. If you look that, these are placed turned on their side, so being turned like that would kind of be studs on the side too. So very, very, very cool comparison between the two. Of course, in terms now, this, I'm just gonna go over this like real quickly. Of course, I don't know what this retails for. I forgot. It's probably around $30, maybe $20 for what you got. Of course, but which one has the better value? As a collector, that is a extraordinarily hard decision. I actually have the box for this. I don't have the box for that. While you do get 4 minifigs compared to 2, this has 2, and one of them is an unbelievably awesome light-up Darth Vader. But yeah, something really quickly I forgot to say about those. Those are sticking out. Those are encased in, and of course, the spring-loaded shooters has more play value. But yeah, this isn't. I was about to say, let me know which one do you like better. That's a dumb question. This one, but if you end up enjoying today's video, make sure you, of course, leave a like, subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned, as I'm at some point I'm getting the new 2021 TIE Fighter and doing a comparison of all 3, which will be cool. So I'll see you in my next video.